Hello, everybody. It's a great pleasure for me to talk about one of my favorite airway devices, about the CMAC VS. The CMAC VS is a rigid fibroscope with the addition of the option of a flexible tip. And in my institution, this device is used as plan B in an unexpected difficult airway situation. That means our standard is video laryngoscopy in my institution. Every patient is intubated with a video laryngoscope. And in those few cases where, due to a very anterior larynx or due to some anatomical disorders like tumors, like any deviations where we cannot place the tube by using a video laryngoscope, then we immediately skip over to the VS. From time to time, I'm asked why not to use a flexible scope in an unexpected difficult airway situation. Well, the main reason is that it takes much too long in an unexpected difficult airway situation to get the flexible scope ready, and the intubation using a flexible scope takes much more time than using a rigid scope. And this is why we train mainly as our first alternative, as plan B with the VS, the rigid scope, because it's fast and very easy to train. And therefore the quality and the success rate is much, much higher. We do know from studies that it takes you around 100 flexible intubations a year to maintain the level of skill, whereas it takes only 20 intubations with the VS so far from our data in my hospital. As always in life, the proper preparation of the devices you are using is of utmost importance. The thing is, you place the tube on top of the VS. With the ET tube holder, you can adjust according to the length. And very important, if you look on the screen, you have to see the crescent on the right-hand side. And this means that this is the tip of the tube and the whole instrument is covered by the tube. So there is no harm to the patient due to the rigid metal scope. First of all, there is like 3 techniques how to lift up the chin. My favorite way to do it is using, as I call it, the basket grip. I take the tongue inside the mouth and lift upwards. And when I lift upwards, I go along my thumb, which is in the middle of the mouth, located inside the patient, to see the epiglottis, which is my next target, what I want to see. I sneak underneath the epiglottis, and once I sneak underneath there, I lift up the tip and slide with the tube gently inside the vocal cords. At that time point, I release the tube and slide it slowly in. While sliding in, you have to lift the handle because the position of the tip is inside the larynx, so there is no possibility of deviation anymore. And once you lift and leave the handle, you slide the tube gently inside the patient. The second way to how to lift the chin is that the nurse is doing a jaw thrust. And on the mannequin is a little bit difficult to perform, but nevertheless, the chin lift from externally from a nurse who is standing opposite to the intubator, she can lift up the chin with her hands. And the third possibility would be just using a laryngoscope and widen the pharyngeal area with the laryngoscope. In the same way, you go in, you look for the epiglottis, you sneak underneath the epiglottis and then slide in to the laryngeal area and place the tube Yeah, again, leave the handle because it's very clear if you have the handle like this, it's hard to slide the tube into the patient. 3 ways to widen the pharyngeal area. To do the basket grip, to do the jaw thrust, or to use a laryngoscope. The basket grip, I take my thumb into the mouth and lift up the tongue. And as you see, I go in, it's very narrow here. I slide by the uvula and I sneak underneath the epiglottis and I come up and I'm inside. And at that point, I lift the handle, very important. And the nurse slides the tube gently in. Very important to lift the handle. And now we sneak out. If you want, you can go in beside to show again that the tube is located, not fully now. Slide it in further. Yeah, okay. And as you can see, the tube is inside in the correct position. Well, to summarize, the VS is an excellent device for intubations, especially in an unexpected difficult airway situation. Unfortunately, it is not well recognized and well known in a broad spectrum. But as you've seen, it's easy to teach, it's easy to train, and it's an excellent device to perform in non-emergency situations, but also in emergency situations, difficult intubations.